guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be Eleanor's baby update. She is about 9.5, we'll say 10 months just because this probably won't go up till she's 10 months. She is not quite as, my dog just pushed her little button. Okay, push the button. Watch this. Honey, push the button. Good doggy. Okay, you go out. It's my life, I swear. I try to film and it's like everybody wants your attention, my phone won't stop work, you know. So, let's start over. Hey guys, I am here to do Eleanor's 9.5 month update and maybe 10 months by the time this goes out. She is in 12-month clothing, 12 to 18 months. There are some 12-month stuff that's too small for her. I can kind of go either way on daytime clothes. On the footy PJs, I think 12 months fit her the best, but 18 months also fit. Like, they might be a little too long, but she can fill them up. She's a little bit smaller, I think, than Daisy was, her 3-year-old sister, because I think Daisy was like in the 90-something percentile this age. Like, she was pretty big. And Eleanor is probably bigger than average, but I don't think she's like 90-something percentile. The reason I say I think is because she was not due for any shots at her 9-month appointment, so that would have been May 19th. And so we opted to just not have the appointment. And they were like, hey, you can always schedule an online, what do you call it? Like a video appointment if you want to just do one through Zoom meeting. If you have a concern or if you do need to bring her in because of something, we can always do that. Just schedule it, you know. But for well visit, I was like, she's fine. I know what the questions they're going to ask. They're going to do height and weight. So I don't actually have her exact height and weight, but I would guess she's about 21 pounds, maybe 21 and a half. That's it. And then I think she's about 29 inches tall. So she's currently using the Kiko KeyFit 30 or the Kiko KeyFit 30 car seat and the stroller combo with the car seat bases. And that car seat maxes out at 30 inches tall. So I know we really do need to get her height soon because I think she's about at the max. And we already have her Graco Forever big kid car seat that she'll have for years. Daisy still uses hers and she's 3. Eleanor's will go into the car in place of the infant seat base and infant car seat, and will just be rear facing. Daisy forward faces because she's older. So we already have 3 of them. One for my car, one for my husband's car, and one for my mother-in-law, who's like their primary childcare 5 days a week right now. So we bought 3 of them. That was expensive. We got them on a really good deal on Black Friday, so we saved I think $70 each car seat. It was like the deal off on that day. So we bought 3 of them and we've been storing them for 6 months to save $210. Now that I think about it, I'm like, those are really big boxes. They're like, you know, an appliance almost. But my husband's office has just had a nice big stack of boxes. But anyway, yeah, so we are just hanging out at home for the most part, but so far so good. I was gonna say at Eleanor's 6-month appointment, they said that her head measured a little bit small, and the doctor was kind of concerned about the shape of it. Like it's a little bit long and then it was a little bit flat. And she's like, I don't think it's a problem for sure, but like, I think you should go for plagiocephaly. I think you should go to this cranial technologies or cranial tech helmet measuring place and get an assessment of her head. So they took these images and they are so cute. So cute. They put this like little mesh cap on her and I had to hold her in this chair and she smiled so big for the camera and they took all these measurements and pictures from different angles and oh my gosh. Guys, I hope I have that picture somehow. I'll have to like find a way to put it in here. Oh my gosh, so cute. But anyway, that was at like 6 to 6.5 months and they said that her head was fine. Like it was on the low end, the mild end of their like needing treatment at all. And like, so I flat out asked the lady, I don't know what she was called, like a PA or I don't know what she was called, but she wasn't like full-on doctor. She had the measurements and everything. And I said, okay, if it was your child, would you do the helmet? Because she said, it's your choice. She's not like moderate or, you know, high, like really high risk or anything for like, would you do it if it was your kid? And she's like, honestly, no. I was like, well, done, because it was going to be like $2,000 and put my baby through, you know, wearing a helmet for 5 months. and coming back to the practice multiple times for adjustments and new helmets. And, you know, and it's just like kind of something that I'm a little bit vain about. Like I was like, I don't want people to know my baby's imperfect. But now I see the other babies in helmets and I think they're absolutely adorable and there's nothing to be ashamed of. But you know what I mean? Like there's just that part of you that wants to have a perfect baby, and like admitting that your kid is imperfect is like hard. I know, check yourself, girl. You're like vain, like you should not feel that way. But I do. Like it was really hard. I cried when they told me like that she was gonna have to be in a helmet. And then when I asked her, would you? She said no. I was like, well then, okay. But I cried from the appointment, and it wasn't because I thought my baby was sick or ill. I said, how is this gonna impact her life? You know, is she gonna have problems with hats fitting or whatever? And they're like, no. She's a girl too, so she'll have hair. So even if her head is like not quite right, oh, my highlight is like, wow. Even if, you know, she's gonna have hair back there probably, so nobody would ever notice, and it's fine. Like her head is not that small. It's like 25th percentile. You know what I mean? Like it's fine. So she's fine. And I did want to mention her hair is growing. Oh my gosh. It was like dark brown, kind of like my roots are, you know. I say roots. All of my hair is one color. I haven't dyed it in like 5 years, but when she was born at the hospital, people were like, oh my gosh, her hair is so dark and so thick, and oh wow. But now I feel like it's lightened and it's more like a medium brown. And Daisy's was medium brown, and now it's like medium brown to light brown. I feel like it goes more golden in the summer and lightens. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting to watch her hair grow up. So I'm like, how's it gonna be texture wise? This is my natural waves. I haven't heat styled my hair in a long time, months. I think I might have done it like once this year, maybe twice. But yeah, so maybe Daisy's hair is kind of like mine. I think hers is more straight and then the ends have a little wave to it. But yeah, so that's interesting. I think it'll be fun to see like what her hair turns out to be like. Her eyes are kind of hazel. They were gray at birth and they stayed gray, gray blue, gray green, and we weren't quite sure what they were going to be. I have brownish, hazelish eyes. I guess you would call them hazel. They're more like a honey greenish around the outside, and then brown right around the pupil. And my husband has like dark, you know, chocolatey brown cocoa eyes. I'll try to show you. Just keep in mind that the ring light is there, okay? But you can tell like I have brown with the green. Anyway, so Eleanor's eyes are grayish, maybe tiny bit greenish. And there's definitely brown around the center. Heterochrome, I think is what you call it, where there's like multiple colors in their eyes. I think by now it's pretty much decided, so I call them hazel. She is in size 4 Pampers Cruisers now, diapers, and she started scooting, then crawling. Crawling was around St. Patrick's Day, so she was 8 months, and then she went from crawling to standing. Like, I mean, there was like 3 days in between, and then she was cruising around furniture like by the next week, and then she was standing without holding on to anything. It happened so fast. Between like St. Patrick's Day, like March 17th, I remember because she was at my mom's that day and I have pictures from St. Patrick's Day, and she was like kind of slithering around on the floor and a little bit crawling. From then until like June 5th, I think it was June 5th when she took her first steps. That was like no time, right? She went from like slithering, crawling, like standing, cruising, and then standing without holding on anything, and then taking 1 or 2 steps. So she went from like taking 1 to 3 steps at a time without holding on anything, where you're like they're almost walking, but I don't want to count it as officially walking yet because they're only taking 1 to 3 steps. You know, that stage in babies walking is like not really walking yet. So this like they take stumble and hello. Here, do you want this pretty high heel? And they fall down. It's like, oh, you're not really walking. But she went all the way from that 1 to 3 steps for like a week, right? And then boom, the girl took off. Like now she walks in. I don't know what toy is in there. Entire length of the house. I think before she used to drop to her knees to get to you quickly. Like if she saw you across the house, she'd be like, ooh, I want to go over there. She would drop to her knees and go really and try to get to you as quickly as she could. Now I'm not sure choose to crawl or walk to be faster. Anyway, we sleep trained this last month, guys, and it's amazing. She slept last night from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. and no feeding in between, no wake ups. It wasn't easy. It was 3 nights of crying, not fun. Occasionally now she'll still have a couple of, you know, wake ups, one wake up, and she usually puts herself back to sleep with minimal fussing. So I'm going to do a whole video on how we sleep trained her because we did it with both our kids. Daisy was about 11 months and Eleanor was 8 months, and it worked like a charm for both kids. So I'll go over that. If you guys especially want to see that, let me know, and I'll put it at the top of my list of like videos in priority level. But then we are also still breastfeeding. She does eat solids and loves finger foods. I almost never give her purees anymore because she prefers to pick up the food with her pincer grips. She's doing really well with that. She doesn't gag or anything. She's game to try anything. She likes everything, almost. Penny, you're a pest. Come here. She likes almost every single food that I've given her. I think she really did not like eggs. I gave her scrambled eggs and she was like, no thank you. And she like gets rid of them. And then like green beans, she's kind of like eh. But she likes peas and carrots and stuff, so I don't care, whatever. Like she loves cheese, baked beans. She loves fruit. Oh my gosh, I give her fruit in the mesh feeder, like the little baby popsicle thing. She loves that. But yeah, we're still breastfeeding. I pump 4 times a day during my work day when I'm away from her. I still work from home, but she's not with me. And then she nurses, you know, a couple times before work. And then like from 4 p.m. to like 7 p.m. she nurses like 3 or 4 times. She's like, mommy, 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 I want you. And then I make sure I'm nice and empty before I put her down for the night. That's for my own comfort, but I also like her to have a full belly. And then I go all night without breastfeeding. And so when I wake up, my boobs are like huge. And then she eats like a feast, a gourmet meal, like a lot of milk from one side, and then finishes the other side before I hand her off to grandma, you know. And she does drink a little bit of sippy cup of water. She doesn't drink much anymore. I think she really liked the idea of drinking water out of a sippy cup just because she liked to suck out of a straw. She really likes it for some reason. But then she would like spit out the water. So I don't think she was actually taking in much water. She just liked the idea of drinking from a straw like a big kid. I don't know. But she definitely will, if you leave Daisy's sippy cup around, Eleanor will drink it. And she just thinks that's the funnest thing. But then she spits it out. It makes a mess or like shakes it and it sprays water everywhere. So that's fun. But yeah, she really does enjoy feeding time, meal time. She doesn't like sitting still. We do have a corral in our front. I call it a corral, it's a playpen, but it's pretty big. Like I can sit in it with my 2 kids and then there could be toys. And like, so it's a large playpen. And we just let them play. And if I sit in there and have like puffs as like a snack for her, I can have my husband like he sits on the couch and controls the TV. And we can just sit in there for a couple hours and Eleanor is totally fine and happy. But if I get out of the playpen, I only get like 5, 10, 15 minutes. So like clean the dishes or whatever I need to do, cook or something. But yeah, she doesn't love being confined. She will sit in a frog seat. We call it frog seat. It's a Fisher Price sit me up seat or a high chair or a booster seat. As long as she has something to eat in front of her or something really fun to play with. Otherwise she loses interest really quickly. Her favorite thing to play with is anything that Daisy is playing with. Littlest Pet Shop, those little teeny tiny pieces, those are her favorite. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times I've had to like yell at Daisy to pick the little toys up off the floor, you know. So we're working on it, and Eleanor definitely does put everything in her mouth. Speaking of her mouth, she has 4 teeth now, and I think I can tell where the 5th one's coming in, but she has 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think the top one up here, the incisor, is coming in now, or about to, because it's like very swollen up there. But she's still sleeping great, and she takes 2 naps a day now. Once in a while she'll take 3 naps if one of them is like a short nap, but she sleeps in her crib for the most part always. Once in a while, like if I took her out, she'd probably fall asleep in the car seat, or if she has trouble sleeping in the crib or has trouble staying asleep long enough, like if she wakes up after half an hour and says, I'm done napping, like my mother-in-law will put her on her lap and hold her and then rock for a few minutes and she'll fall back asleep and she'll sleep another hour. So she does need like 2 or 3 hours worth of naps a day. And so whether she gets those in 3 or 2 parts, she does end up with, you know, 2 or 3 hours worth of naps every day. But she's jabbering. She'll say and she just found her tongue, and I know that sounds weird, but like she loves her daddy. She loves to stand up. She claps. She waves. I'm trying to work on teaching her to blow kisses, and she kind of gives high fives. And I want her to learn to point. There's all these little things that the babies do that are really cute. Like, how cute is it when they're like, bye-bye, you know? She says, Mama, Dada. I swear she said Daisy, but I don't know if she did. She hasn't done it again. I think she's working on saying dog, because she'll say like, you know, you're like, are you talking about the dog? I'm not sure. But that's about it. I think she is just, her little personality is coming out, and she is so determined. I can't believe she walked at like 9 months. That's crazy. Her sister was 10 months, in case you were wondering. But she's just happy and easygoing, and I'm so glad we sleep trained when we did, because with Daisy, like I said, we waited till 11 months old. I am me again, guys. If this is, now I'm switching over to the postpartum aspect of it, I'm back. Like, yes, I'm breastfeeding, so my body is still hers, but I'm sleeping again. I can like eat like a normal person. I'm not like ravenous, because I honestly, I don't think I'm like putting out that much milk anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be her primary source of food, and of course, food before one is just for fun, but like, I know I'm producing less. I'm not trying to build up my freezer stash anymore. I'm just trying to keep up at this point, you know? So I'm not as ravenous all the time, and I feel more like myself. I'm starting to, you know, feel like I can eat a little healthier. I'm not like, you know, when you're, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it when you're breastfeeding, like you're like so hungry, like a bottomless pit, and you just want to eat like 3,000 calories a day, because it's like you're constantly hungry. You eat, you're hungry. You eat, you're hungry. The baby just sucks all the calories out of you, I swear. I'm not there anymore. I'm now at the point where I'm like, if I eat that, I will get fatter. That's a rat. So you know what I'm talking about if you've had to wean. So my weaning plan is at August 19th, she turns 1. And that is when I'll start introducing cow's milk. I will no longer be pumping breast milk during work. After about that, maybe a week after that, I'll just slowly wean myself from pumping 4 times a day during work to like 3 times to 2 times to once to none over like a week or 2. And then she'll have cow's milk during the day when my freezer stash runs out. And I'll still breastfeed in the morning and the nighttime probably for a while, maybe around the clock on the weekends, but that really does me a disservice. And then I think I will probably be done breastfeeding, I don't know. September 19th would be the 13 months when Daisy quit. And I only quit because I wanted to get my cycle back, and I wanted to get pregnant again. And this time around, obviously I got my tubes tied. That's not the motivation at all. We're done having kids, but I don't really want to quit. Like I like it. So we'll see. Maybe if I'm just breastfeeding like at bedtime and first thing in the morning, I'll just keep doing that for a while. I'm not sure. But that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys later.